Hello friends, today I want to caution you that it may not be a good idea for you to file for divorce and then start doing whatever you want with the kids, money, property, assets, and liabilities while that case is pending. And that's because of what's called a status quo or standing order, which is what we're going to talk about today. Welcome back to the Divorce Broadcast. My name is Manny Segarra, coming to you from Miami, Florida. So, for those of you that have never heard of a status quo or a standing order in a divorce case, I want to explain what they are. Keep in mind that every jurisdiction is different, every state is different, and they may not have these orders in your state. In Miami-Dade County, we're fortunate because there is an administrative order which I will invite all of you to look up. It is Miami-Dade County Circuit Court Administrative Order 14-13, also known as the Status Quo Temporary Domestic Relations Order with or without children, also known as the Status Quo Order, which is what I'm going to call it during the course of this video. Essentially, what the status quo order in Miami-Dade County does is it has different provisions as to what should be happening with the children, property, assets, liabilities while the divorce case is pending. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through some of the issues that may appear in certain status quo orders, starting with the effective date. The effective date on status quo orders oftentimes is when the case is opened. Specifically, when the petitioner files a divorce petition, they are often required to also file the status quo order. The status quo order should be part of the service packet, and oftentimes it is effective on the petitioner once the case is open. Once the petitioner sends the service packet out to be served on the respondent, and the respondent is served with the petition, the corresponding paperwork, and the status quo order, now the respondent is also subject to the status quo order and it is effective upon the respondent at that point. A lot of times the status quo orders cannot be modified, changed, amended, or terminated without a subsequent court order. A lot of times there will be guidelines and safeguards put into effect about children. One of the things that you may see in a status quo order is a prohibition against relocation of children pending the divorce without a court order. This may mean relocation outside of the county, outside of the state, or outside of the country. You may also have a prohibition of the solicitation of a passport for the child. You may also be required to have one of the parties hold on to the passport, or it may have to be surrendered to the court pending the resolution of the case. In addition to that, child support may be addressed. The child support provisions may require one party to make either voluntary or required payments to the other. Whether or not you have to make child support payments, please make sure that if you do, you keep records of any child support payments that you make. In addition to this, the status quo order may provide for certain shared parental responsibility guidelines. For instance, both parents may be granted access to the children's school and medical records. Both parents may be allowed to go to any type of special events relating to the children. Both parents may also be required to confer and jointly make any of the parenting decisions relating to school, medical decisions, religious indoctrination, daycare, and things of that nature. In addition to that, the status quo order may prohibit the parents from interfering with the time sharing or companionship of the children. And it may not allow for the parents to either engage in disrespectful or disparaging comments about each other. In addition to this, the status quo order may require the parties to take a parenting course while the case is pending. These are some of the issues that a status quo order may address in a pending divorce case. The status quo order here in Miami-Dade County requires the parties to attend mediation. As some of you have seen in my previous videos, I'm a big fan of mediation because it allows the parties to try to come up with an agreement that they both are able to author and agree upon, as opposed to going to court, litigating the issue, and going down the path in which the result would be unpredictable. Also, status quo orders may touch upon what can and cannot happen with the personal property. For instance, a status quo order may prohibit one party or either party from disconnecting utilities like the water, the light bill, garbage bill, the cable bill, things of that nature. In addition to this, it may prohibit the waste of marital funds. May not allow certain expenses. So while the case is pending, we need to be mindful of what shows up on our bank accounts. If there's a business involved, the status quo order may prohibit the concealment of business records or family records or things of that nature. It may also prohibit either party from canceling any type of insurance payments. For instance, medical insurance, homeowners insurance, or automobile insurance. In addition to this, the status quo order may prohibit one party from taking the other party off as a beneficiary. As much as they may no longer want to have that soon-to-be ex-spouse on the life insurance policy, they're going to have to suck it up and keep them on there until the case is either over or there's a subsequent court order. In addition to this, there may be a prohibition against either getting more credit, incurring more expenses, or unnecessary expenses. This is also really important if one of the spouses is engaging in an extramarital affair, at which point those expenses will be subject to later equitable distribution on the column of the person who is engaging in such an affair. So those are some of the issues that are highlighted in some of these status quo orders. Remember that each jurisdiction is different. I invite you to look at your particular jurisdiction and see what may or may not apply. One of the things that will apply in the event that there is a status quo order in your jurisdiction is the sanctions that will occur if you violate this order. I can tell you that judges do not like when you violate status quo orders. So some of the things that may, and I say may, happen to you if you violate a status quo order is that, number one, you may get admonished by a judge. And it's never a great start in front of a judge to be in front of him or he or she, whereby they're yelling at you for cutting off someone's medical insurance. So don't do that. Also, a little bit more strict is that you may be held in contempt of court. It's possible that the court will see that you fail to abide by this order, and they could conceivably hold you in contempt if it's an egregious enough violation. If, for example, you decide to relocate with a child or not let the other parents purposefully interfere with the other parent's companionship or time sharing with that child, the court may order the child to be returned to the jurisdiction where the court case is pending, or it may order the child to start residing with the other parent. So these are some things that may happen. The same thing goes with assets like money. If you take money out of an account right before you get divorced, thinking that you're slick, and the judge finds out about it, the judge may make you return those funds to the marital account. And then the last thing is that you may be required to pay attorney's fees if an attorney has to file a motion against you to comply with the status quo order. So, in sum, if you file for divorce, don't catch the kook and start doing a bunch of stuff that you're not supposed to do. So if you know anyone that's thinking about getting a divorce and needs a little help with these status quo orders, have them reach out to us. We are at www.segarralawfirm.com. Se habla español. We have offices in Miami and Orlando. Please do us a favor and like this video, subscribe to the Divorce Broadcast, and share this video with people that you think may need a little bit of help understanding the status quo orders. Thank you.